Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have a gameplay of a prototype of a game that just finished on Kickstarter and is getting ready to open up for pre-orders if it hasn't already. I don't believe it has, and it should be though in the very near future. I say pre-orders, what I'm actually talking about is they're going to be opening up the Pledge Manager, and people that didn't get in on the Kickstarter will be able to get in on the Pledge Manager. So this is called Galactic Era. This is a space exploration. I believe you could qualify it as a 4X game. You're not actually like this. And you'll see what the difference between what a sector is here in a second when I show it to you. The sectors are all already laid out, but you are exploring and seeing what each planet, or I guess each solar system, has in store for you as you're going through. So it does have that exploration feel along with the other X's. Can't ever remember what those are. Okay, so I do want to mention our sponsor, Board Game Co. This is a fantastic website for you to buy, sell, and trade games. They have a great selection of games for you to choose from if you're just looking to purchase more games, build out that collection, really get it into tip-top shape. They also are happy to take games off your hands and pay you for them. So they'll buy games from you. They have a real easy-to-use value system over there, so be sure to check that out. And of course, the cool feature, or the coolest feature, I think, is their trade system, where if you have a Board Game Geek account and you have set up a wish list or a trade list over there, what you want in trade, what you have for trade, they will take that list, compare it to their stock, and right there on the website, just with a few clicks of a button, they will build a trade list for you to facilitate a trade for you to make with them. Now, if you don't have a Board Game Geek account or you haven't set up your trade list over there, no big deal. You can still trade with Board Game Co. It just takes a little bit more effort on your part. If you do go check out Board Game Co., be sure to click on the link in the description below, and that way they will know that I sent you over there. Board Game Co. makes it easy to buy, sell, and trade your way into a better collection. Now, one other thing I do want to mention before we get down to the game topper is I have a brand new channel. If you saw any of the online relapse videos that I did here recently, that was kind of in preparation for the launching of a new channel called Video Game Relapse. Be sure to go check that out. There's a link in the description below for that as well. I'm going to be covering all kinds of next-gen stuff with the Xbox Series S, so be sure to check that out and subscribe while you're over there. All right, let's get down to the game topper, and we're going to play Galactic Era. All right, so we've got a little bit of the board set up so far. There's still some more setup I'm going to do here so you can actually see how it's done. Just to give you a quick idea of what we got, we've got these two sectors. Now, this is actually very small compared to what you would normally be dealing with a three-player game, for instance. With 2 or 3 players, you can see you'd have 4 sectors on the board. 4 players, you've got 5 sectors, and it just keeps getting bigger like that. So for a solo game, you have a relatively small space, but I can tell you there's going to be a lot going on in these 2 sectors. On the sectors, all the sections that have these planets are called, they're each solar systems. Essentially, from what I understand, you're basically seeing the one planet that's really what you're going to be interested in that solar system. And the game actually refers to these as stars because obviously they're, all centralized around whatever star is there. These tokens are going to tell me if the planet is uninhabited, if there is a primitive culture there or an advanced culture there. And depending on which one I find, that's going to have something to do with, how I can interact with them based on my alignment as either STO, which is service to others, or STS, service to self. Good and evil, essentially. Here we have, this is an asteroid belt that if I have a ship there or if I have a presence there, I can build additional ships when I take that action. This is a neutron star, I believe is what that's called. I can only go in there if I've researched high enough on my propulsion technology. These are nebula. They take extra movement to get into, but if you start your movement in there, you actually have additional movement moving out of them. These right here are wormholes. In the solo game, I can't use them at all. and that's actually where the Ultima's ships will be coming through. The AI player ships will be coming through these wormholes. Yeah, so also up here, this is called the central system. This is the sector that would be surrounded by other sectors if we were playing with more than just one player. And in the central sector, there's always these bonus tokens that if you're the first person to colonize that star, then you'll take that bonus token as well, and you flip it over, see what's there. All right, so and this is my home star right here. That's why I've got this token on it. And you can see my home star actually means this. There's this symbol here saying that I actually start on level 2 for genetics. So I'll go and just move that up there. And we'll get into this a little bit more later. But now let's work our way through the rest of the setup. So these are the galactic story tiles. You can see there's 3 of them. We have to choose one at random. And that's going to have an effect on our scoring each round. So, all right, let's go with this one. We have we have Galactic Journeys. And so you can see the game takes place over 8 rounds. It goes on like that. And so here for the first round, we'll get 1 point if we are aligned with service to others. And then as we go into each round, I'll read to you, I'll look these up and tell you what each of them are as we go along. Also, the first 2 rounds are kind of oriented towards service to others. The next 4 rounds are service to self oriented, and then the final 2 are service to others as well. Basically, 3 different eras: an era of light, a long era of darkness, and another era of light. All right, so next up, I've got these face down already. Galactic Goal. We need to shuffle these up and draw one at random. All right, we have Galactic Goal Control. So what that means is I'll score 10 destiny points per star that I have in the center sector at the end of the game. So each of these stars, every one of those that I control, is going to be worth 10 additional destiny points at the end of the game. Now that's interesting because most of the time that I've played, I have spent my time here mainly and branched out over here only once I've really filled this area up. So this time it's really that really gives me an incentive to get up into the center sector right away. All right, now you can see I've got, or everybody's going to have these 5 different technologies: military, spirituality, propulsion, robotics, genetics. Military is going to increase the power, the strength of my ships, and all the way up to 10 per ship, which is really, really powerful. Spirituality gives me this. Oh, also it allows me to get advanced fleet tactics, which basically I could double my power and other stuff like that. Spirituality gives me this, what's it called? Remote viewing power, where I can flip over some of these tokens and look at them once per turn. And then here also you can see it has these other abilities as you get a little farther up. Propulsion is how many spaces my ships can travel in during their movement. So that's, just one upgrade there gets me an extra space for every movement. So that's pretty good. Robotics is going to allow me to build additional ships. You can see 1 level up and I can build 1 extra ship, and then 3 extra ships. This is in addition to my normal the normal amount of ships that I can get just from a population track, which we'll talk about that in a second. Genetics gives me 1 bonus population, because normally your planets have a cap of how much population they can have. And so genetics will allow you to grow, I guess, even more population on top of that. Now, speaking of population, down here, we start off with 6 population here on our home star. And then as we take these discs off of here and put them on the board, it tells us what our population is, but also the level of our population helps with building more ships. So if we have, that much population, we have 8 population total out there, then every time we build ships, we'll actually build 3 ships. Whereas right now we're just building 2, and it keeps going up like that. So these are the domination cards. We need to shuffle these up, and we'll take one of these, and these will be some points that we'll be working our way towards. So here we have density. So have 3 stars with 5+ population each. That will get us 7 destiny points, or we'll have to look this up and see what that is. But I believe that's 1 destiny point for every 4+ population star that I have. The turn order I randomized earlier before I started filming, I ended up with the first player token. Over here, the genetic farmers have second, will go second in turn order, and then the slavers are third in turn order. Now I start with 3 ships, and again, this is a prototype, of course, so just keep that in mind as you see all these, the tokens that are basically got stickers and these wooden pieces of the ships. There's if you want to see what these are actually gonna look like, be sure to check out the Kickstarter, which there'll be a link in my description below for that. So now we gotta randomly draw 2 star people and choose which one we're going to go with. So I'm not looking. I promise I'm not looking. And randomly gonna pick 2. Let's see. All right. So what do we have here? We have the mantids. Start with 2 extra populations your home star. Get 2 population discs per star with a grow population action. Normal limits still apply, all right. And I can declare war only to block the subjugation. Oh, well, that's because on this side is STO. So let's see. The mantids, the STS version, start with genetics level 2. Get 2 population discs per star with a grow population action. So it could start with genetics level 2 or start with 2 extra population at your home star. Okay, so then here we've got the Ankara Coalition. Start with 2 destiny points. If you choose to switch the alignment action, then you get an additional growth action counter on your turn. Okay. Or the Ankara Coalition. Okay. Start with 2 extra ships, and same thing. If you switch your alignment, you get an extra growth counter. So 2 extra ships, 2. All right. So I think we're gonna go with the mantids. I'm gonna go with the STO, and so we start with 2 extra population at our home star. So what that means is I'll actually take these 2 discs, put them over here at the home star. So I've got 8 population there. And now every time we build ships, we'll get 3 ships instead of 2 to begin with. And so I really think that this ability here is going to help with this domination card. 3 stars with 5+ population each. We'll be able to really work on that. I mean, we've already got 1 right there with our home star. All right, so now with the genetic farmers, we need to see what their start bonus is going to be. And a die roll of 2 means they start with spirituality level 2. And then the slavers start bonus, they roll it a 2. So that for them is spirituality level 2 and military level 2. And military level 2 also means they get an advanced fleet token, or rather an advanced fleet tactic. So we'll put it down here. Oh, well, we've already got one left over from our last game, but it'll actually go here. So there you go. That's the setup for Galactic Era. Now, when we come back, we're going to play through this. I'm not sure if I will get through all 8 rounds in one video. I may split it up at the halfway point after 4 rounds, cut it off, and then, this might end up being a 3-part series. So we'll just see kind of how the timing works with all that. Hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up if you like the video, and until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.